Okay, so let's get this episode of CAPIVISION going. I have been talking about correlating the count I have on SPX from the largest degrees down to the smallest degrees, so I can get this really consistent count going through from sub-minuet all the way to grand supercycle. And I'm super excited to see a lot of you actually starting to really pick up this Elliott waveform analysis. K. Khaled, of course, already knows the Elliott wave stuff, and he can't surprise me when he sent me his AMC count for the first time. Initially, I thought, why is this person sending me my count? And I thought, oh, well, of course we have the same count. We use the same method of analysis. Now I'm seeing Ron Walker and some other YouTuber as well having the same count, and that's really good. That's what I really want. Let's get on the same page, form some consensus. So Tube Legit is also doing this, and StockEd and Obi-Wan, we're all working on this, and so I'm gonna start putting in some more effort and energy myself. I have done a lot of work already, and I've been going off of this count for my long-term analysis, and there's a lot of reasons why I think we're gonna come down to this trend line. But what I want to do today more than anything else is to get my wave count to match Frost and Precher's wave count in this book, Elliott Wave Principle. And so if you bring out your books, get your books out, kids. If you turn the book out and, well, if you open the page, I guess, geez, stumble. On page 232, figure A13, it has a chart there. And of course, Frost and Precher were pretty bearish at the time. They were like, we're probably going for the last big run here in the bull market. Well, they were wrong, of course, because the market continues to rally. It always does, doesn't it? Stonks only go up. That's what they say. Okay, so what I see here on figure A13 is that we have a not a grand super cycle and not a cycle, a super cycle wave 4 at the very bottom left of that chart. That super cycle occurs right after the Great Depression. That is the crash from 1930 or 1929, and then of course it runs down to 1932, and that's where that low forms. And so I'm just going to start revising my count because I can see I've already done it wrong. And that's the thing too, is I'm learning. Remember, I'm learning. If you're learning alongside me, that's great. I just want to make sure that perspective is intact, that I am not an expert. I'm really not. So here we go. Bear with me. I just put a big old fold in my book here so I could not have to turn the page so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and just drop down. I need to prop my book up somewhere. Jesus, this is not great. Let's get cycle wave 4 down there. Let's see here, 1932 in May. Okay, so wow, I gotta hold my scale up correctly. This is hard to do in log scale unless you seriously go one step at a time. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a cycle wave 4, which is the middle. So for me, it's gonna be blue. And we're going to be using uppercase Roman numerals. So there's 4. I'm going to change this color, of course, to blue. That's 4. And then we have some, geez, what are those waves? Primary waves. Those can't be primary waves, can they? Now I have to flip to another page in the book so I don't have to stumble with this notations. If you're looking at figure A13, this will make a lot more sense. So you gotta flip back to page 27. Those are primary waves. Yeah. Primary waves. Primary waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But completing cycle wave 1. Yes. And that is the first cycle wave of super cycle wave 5. So super cycle wave 5 ran from the Great Depression to what was supposed to be the top of the market in, well, it was supposed to be the 90s. And since then, we've had a lot go on. So bear with me here. Here we go. We're just getting started. It's going to be a long one, so buckle up. So there, we're going to start with these super cycle waves, 4. And then we have up here, I'm going to have to just start some subdivision to keep track of where we're at in our count. So cycle wave 5, or 1, right? Yes. And then 2, they place down here. Let's see, that would be in 1942. And then we start a huge 3 wave, which doesn't end until about, let me have a look here really carefully, Looks like it's about 1965. So this is all a 3-wave. This huge run. Is that 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is this 5 way up here in 66? Did I get that correct? Then we have a broadening pattern. Yes. Okay, so here we go. This is where the corrections begin. This is neither labeled. This is not the way I do my charts now. I'm saying that is going to be super cycle or cycle wave 3 up here. And then we are now correcting, okay, in the super cycle wave degree. So I'm going to make that pattern drawing the super cycle color. This will be a really good video if you wanted to correlate your charts with mine. So we got everything exactly the same if you want to do that. I'm going to choose to use this peak and just take out those pipes. Pipes are an overextension, so I don't mind just cutting those out. Why not? It's not a big deal. And I don't feel the need to label the triangle touch points here because that's just going to clear the charts. And here we go. This is going to be the end of super cycle wave 4. So, wait, really 3, 4, that's cycle wave 4. Holy cow. This is a huge super cycle wave. That's only a cycle wave. Okay, and that means that actually this is miscolored too. Gonna make this yellow. There we go. This is how you chart Elliott wave analysis. And then we start a 5 wave. Okay, here we go. Let's drop the scale down a little bit. And looks like Frost and Pretcher gave us a forecast. You can see that in figure A13 towards the right, looking at your book. Primary waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they expected 5 to reach the top of this channel. So maybe I should chart that channel too. Let's see here. I wonder if they're in log scale or arithmetic scale. Looks like log scale, judging by the axis there. So, again, looking at the figure. And they don't start the channel back here. They start it here, wave 2. And they don't give us another touch point until the very end of the triangle. That was that correction through here. And then they came up and they put that top right there. And they said that is our super cycle wave 5. And let's see how they did. Let's get into the nitty gritty here. I do have a lot of subdivisions here. I'm okay. I'm totally okay revising all of these right now. So I'm probably going to. So they forecasted the next motive wave in primary degree, leading to the top of cycle wave 5. So I'm looking for cycle wave 5 to top out, and they gave us. Let's see here. What year does this figure actually end the charting? It looks like it's in the mid 80s. It's probably 85-ish. So probably right here, right? Does that look right? And then we got this big run right here. 1987. And they were expecting a drop to 2, which happened much sooner than they thought it would. So they're saying this is cycle wave. Okay, wow, I've got to get rid of so much of this. I'm just going to get rid of these guys. Just going to start deleting stuff. Corrections are being made. And let's see, the end of wave 4. Jeez, this is tough. This is really tough. 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then let's see here. 1, 2, 3, and then you come up, you come down, you bounce. This is right where they stopped, right here. Yeah, setting a new high. That's where their count stops. Okay, so then we have 1. This is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is where their count stops. But they're saying that the top of this wave here, this primary wave, is cycle wave 5. So this is where the work actually begins, is right here. I'm just going to drop an arrow down so I know at what point in time we were starting our own analysis. So we can all agree that per figure A13, and this is a reverse triangle per figure 142, but based on figure A13, this is the correct cycle wave count. And where we finish wave 5 and where we start supercycle and grand supercycle waves, that's what we're looking to determine here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start doing this. Let's do the work. 1, 2, and then we're definitely getting some different extensions through here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I called this top of primary wave 3, and then 4, and 5. It looks like 5 is actually a truncated wave, doesn't it? Through here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Truncation. I mean, technically not truncated because it does come above wave 3. But I think that's important. This is either a 1 wave or it's a 5 wave. And how do we know, right? Because 1, 2, 3, this could be the first wave. Let's see, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I called 5 way up here. I said we had an extended 5 wave. And if I were not to do that, I would be saying that the 5 wave ends here. And this is our correction. And then we have waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look, we still end the motive wave at the same place. So there's an extension through here, and whether or not we call this here the top of wave 5 or up here the top of wave 5 is a big deal, because we're going to say the next degree higher begins at that point in time. So is this 1? Is from here to here leg 1, or is it just the 5th wave? And that's a good question. So I'm looking at this now, this broadening pattern here, and this is definitely corrective, and it's definitely corrective at a larger degree than the primary degree that we're currently on, right? And so maybe this is A, B, C. This can't be 1. This cannot be 1 because the next dip goes beyond the prior dip. So this cannot be a 1 wave. It cannot be a 2 wave or a 3 wave. It can't be a 4 wave. Can it be a 4 wave? It could. It could be 1. This could be 3, 4, 5, right? A, B, C, and then we start a new motive wave. So I think the best way to look at this is to say that this is a 5th wave extension through here. I really think so. Yeah, I think that's correct, that we have primary wave 4 coming down in 1987, and then you have 1, I have these intermediate degrees labeled here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and then it keeps going. So wow, that is huge. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jeez, this is tough. We're going to lay down a motive wave through here, and we're going to get this figured out. So let's go from that low at 4 to that peak at 5, and let's get a channel tool down, another channel tool down, and let's draw the channel out. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. So what's this channel look like? Right, so this is its own motive wave. And when I draw this motive wave from that low at 4 and I start coming up, right? Like it's almost like you're watching a liftoff occur. That's what I think that's why I think that's a 5th wave extension, is because it is in a motive wave form, absolutely, and it's definitely in a channel. But it's happening at a degree or at an angle that is more pronounced. And so we get this huge correction afterwards too. And how we break this down, I don't think it matters, because this is probably not wave, let's see here, 4, 5, and ABC. This is probably not wave 1 and 2. That just wouldn't make, it just doesn't look like wave 1, wave 2. It could be though, 3, 4, and we could still wind up where we are. So I think the count I have is good. I think that the top of cycle wave 5 is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just change this. 5. Nope, capital 5. Yep, and let's make it yellow. See, this is before this chart is from so long ago that it's not color coded correctly either. So I'm going to be correcting those colors as well. And then, yeah, all these other waves, I need to recolor these too. I'll save that for another time. Or will I just do it now? Let's just do it now. Let's do it now. This is going to be a long one. Let's just start making these things the right color. I think that uniformity is really important when you're processing data. You want to be able to actually utilize your different ways of analysis. Like if I'm using colors, make the colors useful. And then I'm just going to get rid of all of the ABC corrections right now. That doesn't really interest me all that much. Like it was cool when I was learning that. I was like, wow, look, you actually do get these touches. And oh my goodness, that's where Bulkowski touch points come into play. And that's super cool. That's super cool, but right now let's just get rid of them. Okay, the intermediates. 1, 2, 3, right? And do you see how there's also like this accelerating uptrend. Like let me get another channel tool out. And you can see this channel through here, right? And then once again, it's like taking off. It's like, geez, like that's crazy. This is crazy. Like that the stock market has done these things in the past is marvelous. It really is. It's no wonder people had so much money. You know, I do want, like, could this be wave 4 through here? A, B, C? 4, this could be 3, 4, and this could all be some massive fifth wave extension. I mean, wave 1's pretty short, right? So it's not like wave 3 has to be all that long. It really doesn't. So like if this is the height of wave 1, wave 3, yeah, this could easily be the top of wave 3 right here. And I actually want to do that because I'm looking at my RSI. Right, overbought. This is the top of motive wave right here, and this is probably the top of one of the subdivisions of that intermediate 3. So I am going to change that. I'm going to say that's 3, and then this is 4. And when I do that, you're going to notice that now we get this nice like clean flat, and on top of that we get this nice like level of support and resistance between the top of wave 1 and 4. You know, and this could be the top of wave 1 at that point, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one could actually be up here now. Yeah, that could be the top of wave 1. Although that can't be because then wave 3 is the shortest wave probably. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I like it. I'm gonna delete these lines, and then 5 just starts this tear. This is insane. 1, 2. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's top of 3, and then 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in here. This is a dying motive wave, and when you get extensions, it's not uncommon, yes, that you get booyah, right there, the ending diagonal triangle. So yes, this is the peak of a motive wave, and I believe that it is correctly labeled as the top of a primary wave 5. So let's get this primary wave correctly shown here, and that constitutes the top of cycle wave 5. Just going like that. And how does that compare to what Frost and Pretcher were looking at? Well, they were actually looking at the Dow Jones. So, but yeah, they were looking for a substantial run, a little overthrow of the channel. And that's definitely what we saw. Absolutely. I don't think they were expecting the 5-way to extend like it did, but it certainly did. So I'm going to call that the top of cycle wave 5, and it is also completing the top of super cycle wave 5. Super cycle wave 5. Okay, so let's zoom out and see how that looks. So here's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming way up here, and then A, B, and C. And this A, B, and C, this is occurring on a supercycle wave degree. And so at that point, we are using, I think, just letters for our corrective waves. Let me flip back to page 27 really quick. Yeah, just lowercase. Okay, easy enough. Oops, my book. Got it all over the place, of course, here on my desk. So let's go ahead and label it. The correct way is to use parentheses and the lowercase a. I, of course, am going to add my color because that's just the way I do. And I'm going to just delete A, B, and C here. You know, I didn't include the other corrective waves, but I'll do it here for this one because these were big. What's super interesting too is it's like the dot-com bubble and the 2008 financial crisis were the events that caused these corrections. And it's not like those events had anything to do with this run, you know? It's not like the development of the automobile industry and the push of consumer trends that push this higher corrected. It was like the dot-com bubble and then financial crisis. So really interesting how this, how all the components that were built up into this economy that pushed up the stock price, that the way and what caused the corrections weren't totally relevant. I don't know. Just thinking out loud here. So here we are. Beautiful cycle wave, super cycle wave, and then we have big degrees here. So if this is the top of a supercycle wave 5, then what else is it? Well, it's going to complete a one wave of 1 degree higher, right? Which is going to be grand supercycle. Grand supercycle. There it is. And is that correct? Let's go back to page 27, just double triple check here. No, I need to make it a, wait, a second. Supercycle wave 5, okay, completes grand supercycle. Yeah, which is also Roman numerals, but it's got a circle in it. So that Arabic one is wrong. It's so easy to do this stuff wrong. It really is. There, that's totally correct. That's totally correct. So that would be the top of our first grand supercycle. Whew. Now we're looking for A, B, and C. So is it true that, yeah, that wave 2 was short? Our grand supercycle wave 2. Oh my goodness. I just realized something. We're working on grand supercycle wave 3? Oh my god, that's going to be incredible. That's going to be the most bullish thing you've ever seen in your life if you live that long, because, you know, these trends are a long time. Like, how long did the grand supercycle wave 3 last? Like 70 years? No, and that's not even the grand supercycle. That's just the supercycle, the blue one, the supercycle wave here. And really most of it was the cycle wave 5. So naturally, of course, we got this massive correction at that point in time. And then, let's see, we break this down. This becomes grand supercycle wave 2, right? A, B, C. And so we could go into supercycle and cycle waves, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're just going to start charting the third grand supercycle. But what I really think is this is going to be so far off in the future. And currently what we're working on is the first wave of the grand supercycle wave. So we're trying to find the top of supercycle wave 1 still, probably. So I'm just putting down where we're at, what we're looking for, right? So looking for that. And then I'm going to have 5 more cycle waves, right? So I'm just going to put these up here in the top left, and then I will be dropping them down, and that will help me keep track of where I'm at as well. So duplicate this again, edit properties, 1, 2, 3. Boom, yes, and then duplicate, and then come down here, edit properties. This one's easy, just a backspace. Duplicate properties, one more time, edit properties, one more time. Okay, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's find these in here. So I'm going to need to at least pull this first one into where I'm going to have my chart view. Going down into the correction of Grand Supercycle Wave 2. There is a big uptrend through here, and I don't need to keep that. It's currently cluttering my charts. Oh, I need to fix the colors of this. And yes, this one is blue. Edit properties, blue. Boom. Okay. And then let's start working on these primary waves. Let's get these colored correctly. So 1, 2. This is going to be, let's see, probably 1, 2. This can't be 3, so it's got to be 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3, 4 of 3, 5 of 3. This is probably top of wave 1. No. Ooh. Okay, here we go into weeks. Let's go into weeks because I want to know if this has motive structure or not. Let's just go back here and have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that looks nice. It doesn't have like a motive wave channel, right? Not really. In fact, you chart this, like there's a dip there, right? So it's hard, but hey, pull back up, crash down for 2. That makes sense to me. Let's just make sure that wave 3 isn't shorter than wave 1 here. I don't think it is. So let's just drop this down, pull it up. This is rough, obviously. This is dirty charting. And we're saying that the top of wave 1, yes, so that could be 2. This can be 3, and then 4 can extend, or 5 can extend. So, whoa, there's 2. Hey, come over here. Yes. And then this is all wave 3, this huge extent. Whoa, that's probably wave 4. Right? 2. This could be 3, 4, 5. This could be, well, wave 4 can't come below here, right? So we're not going to get that wave 4 and wave 1 overlap. So if it's 1, 2, it's 1, 2, 3. That could be 4 of 3, 5 of 3. Yes. And that's just the third wave, though. 4 and 5. This would be the top of that wave. It depends on that third wave extension. How far does that third wave extension actually go? I'm going to have to figure that out. So let's just do this. What would the RSI suggest? Well, this looks like the top of a couple of motive waves. It's probably going to be on a smaller degree. So 2, that's probably right there. The first wave of 3, 2 of 3. We start extending wave 3. Wave 3 peaks here. This is probably a 4 wave of that 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how overbought occurs here and here? This is probably the top of 3, 4, and then it's 1, 2, 3. See overbought again. 4, 5. Truncating, bearish divergence on the RSI. Boom, 4. And then 5. So this is the top of primary wave 3, I think. And I'm using the RSI to make that determination. Right here. I thought it was, yes. And then 4 is a short dip. That can't be right. 1, 2. I mean, it does look good, doesn't it? The 3 is right here. 4 and 5. A, B, C. And then we're starting in something else. We're going to have to break it down. We have to really break it down here. 1, 2, 1, 2. I mean, it just looks good to go 3, 4, 5, right? Let's do it. This kind of breaks down my analysis here, and that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to break it down too much. I'm going to have to. I'm going to call that the top of 3. Huge third wave extension. No, I'm not. That's so dumb. Right there, that's got to be the top of the third wave extension. And because that corrective pattern, just the size of it, it just looks correct. So we're going to make this assumption here. Top of 3, and we'll go back out to the monthly. Let's see here. Pushing over to the right. Top 3, 4, and then 5 goes deeply overbought. See this? Okay. I feel good about that. Let's do that. Primary wave 5. And this is not right, is it? This is not labeled as a primary wave. Yes, it is, because of the Arabic numbers. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that also makes the top of cycle wave 1. So let's get the cycle wave 1 going. Oh, I had the cycle wave 1 already made, didn't I? Yes, I did. There it is. Wave 1. Okay. And so from this point on, we're looking for cycle corrections. Let's just go ahead and let's just zoom in here, because we definitely have a corrective pattern. I don't know why this is so long. 5. And let's see, it's probably not the peak of 5. It's probably down here. Yep, getting a lot of clean touches there. And we'll make it yellow because it's a cycle wave corrective pattern. We'll duplicate this. We'll just take it off of this one candle right here. And look for touches. There you go. Not bad, right? So let's start at the bottom. 3. And then 4, partial decline. Interesting. Might need to go back a little further. Still a reverse triangle. A, B, C, D, E. This is a partial decline in a megaphone. So bullish, very bullish. You can see what implied volatility did through here. See how it rose, right? So over these 3 months, as implied volatility rose, this is like trading to the downside big time. And then the implied volatility starts to stop as price retraces. And you don't get like a rise in IV again until you come up to a similar high from before. So that's why I like IV. It's kind of like indicative of what kind of mode you're in. So we went from corrective here, and then it flopped. You see how the IV flipped as we went into motive mode after corrective mode. Okay, so anyway, get rid of that. So let's go get that 2, and let's put that cycle wave 2 down there. 1, 2, and look, see, this is wrong. We're just gonna get rid of this one. Get out of here. U2. Okay, A, B, and C. The C is fine. This thing is wrong. So let's get 2 down here. 4, and then 5. Cycle wave 5, super cycle wave 5, grand super cycle wave 1, cycle wave 2, coming down through here. 5. I need 1 first, right? I need 1 first. There's 1. There's 2. Okay, I put it in the wrong spot. There we go. Wave 2 is short, very short. And we're actually working on cycle wave 3. Does that change my opinions? I mean, it could. It really could. It really could. Let's go ahead and get rid of this stuff. This is just like me explaining like where the motive waves occur and such. I mean, it is exciting that we're in a wave 3. I mean, you're always going to be in a wave 3 on some degree. That's the thing, right? It's 420 somewhere. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's wave 3 somewhere. On some degree. Just depends. So let's get this going now. So we're looking for primary waves now. We're getting really close here to the end of this. So is this the top of 1? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness. Look at that level of support and resistance at 3603. That's going to be a fantastic place to have a 4 wave. In which case, actually, the market's bottomed. Oof, that's interesting. Oh my God, I'll have to flip bullish. I mean, CPI, but God, the economic environment right now is just so unfriendly. It's so unfriendly. I'm going to have to be keeping 2 counts again, which is so hard to do. Keeping multiple counts open is hard. It's a lot of brain effort. Okay, so question. Let's get into this. This is probably 1, 2, 3. It could be 4 and 5. Let's go into a weekly chart. This is more recent history right here. Okay, so let's break this down. What do I want to try to do first? I think the first thing I want to do is look at the RSI and say we didn't get into overbought until right here. So this is probably the peak of a motive wave extension. This is probably 3, 4, and 5. And then 4 and 5. Yeah, this is probably the top of primary wave 1. Probably the top of primary 1. Pretty tall, right? And we could break down the intermediate waves too if I really wanted to. I'll just kind of like, let's see here, right here. This is 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. See, very difficult. Let's get a channel tool out here. Let's draw a channel. This is definitely the top of yeah, that's probably the primary. Certainly not big enough to be a cycle wave. So it's got to be the first, and then we're looking for the second primary wave. But look at how perfectly this level this shares a level here. This has got to be a wave 4, but prior to a wave 5 bounce, right? 1, 2, but on a smaller degree maybe. Can't be a smaller degree. It would just look so good as a wave 4, wouldn't it? But how on earth would I get it to be a wave 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I liked that count. And then A, B, and C, and maybe 1. No, this can't be 1 because dip. So it comes reverse triangle, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if that was 1, if that was the top of 1, and it could, that's it. That's got to be right. I bet you if I go on to a daily time frame, it'll work out. Let's do it. Daily time frame. Take me in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's an intermediate wave. 2, and then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 3, top of 3, 4, 5. Oof. I need a dip for 4. Maybe that's the 4 and 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got the same count again. But I want this to be 1 back here. Here. Let's do it here. 1, 2, 3. Overbought RSI. 4, 5. Correction. So this becomes 2 through here. And do you see how the low here is actually higher? So this could be A, B, C, and then this could be intermediate 1, intermediate 2. Here we go, we're getting it. And then intermediate. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Intermediate 5. And when I do that, I lose track. But I think it's right here. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Overbought right here. Good. ABC. Good. Yes. This all has to be 3. So there's a third wave extension through there. Jeez. 1, 2, and then that. Then this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have to go 4, 5 to get 4, 5. That's the top right here. This has to be 4, so this has to be the top of 3. And we're going to be breaking this down now because it just looks so good. And this obviously makes my outlook more bullish. If I can successfully get a third wave extension through here, and now we're going to get a little more technical. Let's go. Let's do it. Give me the intermediate waves. It needs to happen. This could be a really boring video. 1. I guess I don't mind so much. This is supposed to, if you want to learn how to chart, I mean, some of you were asking for live charting, and so this is what that looks like. I do a lot of just like random counting, and then I have to find the subdivisions It's really important to find where the highs and the lows are, so you make sure you're following all the rules, right? A, B, C, 1, 2, and then this is 1 on a smaller degree, okay? So from intermediate, or from super cycle, we're going down to cycle? That can't be right. That's intermediate. So we're going to minor. Minor wave 1. Yeah, yellow. Those aren't primary waves, are they? Oh my goodness, I've been saying the wrong wave. See how often I have to do this? Jeez. It's just back and forth in the book over and over again. Circle, that's primary, good. Intermediates, good. And then down to minor, good. Okay, it's all right. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, thank goodness. It's not going to be happy. So yeah, 1. And then this would be like a little dive for 2. Like A, B, C, or A, B, C, little flat. It's a triangle, I think, really, if you really wanted to look at it. Sometimes what I do is I'll just start by finding points of consolidation. Like here's a little consolidation through here, right? So you know that's corrective phase. And sure enough, it's 2. So on the minor degree. So 1, 2, and then we start a 3 wave, which probably peaks where the RSI hits over bot, which is right here. So maybe I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have a 5 wave extension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did that get me here? Yes, it does. And so that's what I do. And if I wanted to, I could go and I could put down those wave degrees that I just counted, but I'm not going to. Instead, I'm just going to move on, say 3, and then 4. Right here at 3686, you can see that came close to the top of 1. That's really good. Duplicate this, bring it down. 4. Nice. And then 5. It's going to be up here. Probably. Or is it over here where the RSI reaches over bot? 1, 2. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh god. So now we have another problem. Where's top of wave 5 to complete this wave? My intermediate wave 1, I'm looking for the top of 5. So if I go to the RSI is an overbought over here, then you know what? Sometimes you just draw the pattern and then you forget about it. There's the pattern right there. That's a 5 wave. 1, 2. This can't be 3 because it's shorter than wave 1, right? Or is it? Here we go. Let's get in here. Let's break this down. I'm looking for a motive wave structure through here that makes sense. It's possible that wave 4 was just larger than I thought. You can see how they overlap there a little bit. So let's make this the right color. Edit properties, yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. And so 1 maybe starts right here. So this is all wave 4 through here in this triangle. And then we actually start this pattern over here. 1, 2, and then it makes sense, right? 3, 4, peaking out at 5 with bearish divergence in the RSI. Yes, that is the top of 1. And that is what you got to do sometimes. That's a big 5 wave, right? Extended 5 wave. Extended 5 waves, they're a thing. It happened a lot, it seems like. Okay, this is a lot of work. And I decided to do this for CAPIVISION instead of doing all of this first and then just giving the summary. Because that kind of seemed like what people wanted to do was like more live charting. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, not 1. Intermediate wave 3. Okay. And then 4 was really short. Duplicate. Edit properties. I get nervous when you have a really short 4 wave because like sometimes the 4 wave is really big and drastic and sometimes it's not. 1, 2, 3. Because like look, this wave 4 didn't come anywhere near wave 1. It's just this little thing through here, A, B, C, and then we start again. We start a new motive count. Like, this is 4. 1, 2, 3. And then you start motive again. 1, 2, 3. Wow. 1 right here. And then it's A, B, C. 2, 3, 4. And you can see how 4 and 1 there don't overlap. They touch. And then you get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. And then you get another motive wave going higher. So basically, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the top of our first primary wave. And it's the fifth wave of our intermediate wave, or our fifth intermediate wave. Right there. Perfect. And maybe I'll even do this too. So 1 was right here. I'm doing that because of the way that this high and this low, they're perfect, right? They touch, they don't overlap on a closing basis. So I'll just do this too. Duplicate 1, 2, right? This is an expanding flat reverse triangle. And then we'll take 3 and we'll just put it up here. And 4 right there, and then 5. Wow, and then 5 has to be up here. Geez, that's a big 5 wave. It's huge. It's extended for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, and then we'll just keep going. Like, why not? We'll just keep this going. So here we go. Intermediate 1. Where's intermediate 2? This is really good to do. It's good to have this down. And now in the future, when I have to look at why I labeled the charts I did, I'll have this big long video. I'll be like, what were you thinking, Cap? Well, here it is. This is what I was thinking. 3, 4. Whoops. What degree am I on again? This is a common problem. 3, 4, and then I'm looking for the top of 5, right? So actually, these would be 1 degree smaller, and this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 1. 5 on the minor, 5 on the intermediate, completing the first actual primary wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there you go. So primary wave 1, and we're looking for the correction, a primary wave correction 2. Okay. A, B, C. The question is, are we done? Are we now in motive mode? Are we now in motive mode? The RSI has reached overbought on the daily for the first time. And I mean, the only problem I had was that this doesn't make a leading diagonal triangle because the fourth wave doesn't overlap the first wave. Right? 1, 2, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 3, 3, 5. And the triangle would occur along here, right? And so if this is our first wave, there's no overlap. Like, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it doesn't really overlap. 5. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was just so bearish, right? Now that we have this big ABC correction, now we're pushing higher before we even reached overbought, and we have a breakaway gap on the daily time frame and a gap to fill up here. This could very well be a bullish thing. This could very well be a bullish thing. So if this is the bottom of primary wave 2, let's go ahead and go over to the SPY counts and let's see what those look like. And I think this actually is on the hour. 1 day, 1 hour. And okay, so I'm just gonna drop the label down. So I said this was minuet wave 5 completing minute wave 5. And what I'm really looking for is to see the completion of primary wave 2. So what's below primary? Intermediate. Looking for an intermediate 1. What? Primary wave 2 is corrective, right? So I just need to get a complete couple of zigzags through here. So 1, 2, 3, corrective. 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's not quite right because this is definitely motive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is still motive. Bounce down. Well, this is definitely on the right track. So let's figure this out. So here I have primary wave 2, but I also have this labeled as the completion of lowercase and a circle. That would be minutes. So that would mean that minute wave, these minute waves, 1, 2, 3. And then this could be 4 and 5. This is the consensus right now amongst the best analysis on YouTube that I can find, is that we just truncated into this wave. Well, it's not really truncated, but it's a really short wave 5 that ended this motive wave heading lower. And I'm wondering if maybe we've all missed the mark. I wonder if we've all missed the mark. Let's get a actually blank thing here going. Let's remove these drawings. Yeah, get rid of those. Auto zoom. And this is what I'm thinking. What if we all missed the mark because we all missed this ending diagonal triangle? What if we all missed this because it's not very pronounced? Unless we capture those lows. And we accept a little imperfection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh dear. Take me out of log scale. Does that help? No. Because in an ending diagonal triangle, you get a 5, 3, 5 pattern. I just don't see that. It's possible that we could steepen this incoming trend and say little over extreme here. Doesn't this look really good though? The only problem is that it's like, look at how far your touch points are from each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You don't really get 4 because you overlap, but you get that overlap. Well, it'd be between the 1, 2, 3, 4. Jeez, this is so hard right now. Okay. So if this is 2, if this is going to be 2, then we're going to be looking for ABC. And ABC would probably be A right here. I'm just going to go ahead and put this down. A. And then let's zoom in here because these are... Oh, God, no. Please, no. Why? I'm going to get rid of these right here. Get rid of these. Clean up this chart a little bit. It's a little too cluttered. It's fucking with my brain. Get out of here. Get out of here. You two. Just everything go away. Just clean it up. Back it out. Because we could also just be in a less complex, but like a double zigzag. Does that make sense? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And then, oh, whoops. This would be B in that case. And we'd be looking at C down here instead of 5. Oh my goodness. Interesting. So these would be ABCs, right? 1, 2, 3, corrective. And then 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So motive wave on this side, which could be 1, 2, 3. And then, yeah. And now, yeah, we could be done with our complex. We could be done with our complex zigzag. Are you serious? No way. That'd be incredible. I mean, this is a pretty bottomy looking thing, to be honest. It does look like it's turning down. So what do we actually need to see to really determine whether or not we are heading lower or if we just started a new motive wave? Well, the first thing we need are to see our sign overbought, which we're starting to get. We are starting to get that. And on the daily time frame, nonetheless, right? Like, no, not on the daily yet. Not on the daily yet. It's too early to say that this is a true motive wave. And we're still in a downtrend, right? Like, we're still technically in corrective 2. We don't, how do you know when you start corrective 3? Well, I'll tell you what. We had an IV flip, right? Implied volatility up here flipped when we went from motive to corrective mode. So right here, the uptrend stops, downtrend starts. We start retracing, okay? Implied volatility goes up, and then it starts to come down here. It flipped right here. So on the daily time frame, we are definitely seeing potentially a new motive waveform. Let's go into the weekly time frame and see what we got here. The weekly time frame, you know, we didn't come down all the way into oversold. Implied volatility is still falling, right? And that's because this is a multi-week downtrend, so we aren't going to see that there yet. Let's go into the monthly time frame. You know, implied volatility is coming down still. So I think the best way to read this is this looks like a short-term reversal. I don't know how high it's going to go, but I can clearly see 1, 2, 3, 4. This is wave 4, and wave 5 dumps us down lower. I can see that, and if that's true, okay, this is really what we're waiting for. We're really waiting for the test of this downtrend, because if the price, okay, let's get the blank. Okay, here we go. This is where the forecasting starts. Let's go to the drawing board, and let's get this turned off. Are you ready for this? Let's put on, okay, we're going to take away the candles because I feel dumb drawing lines on a candle chart. So if this is, ready for this? 1, okay, I can't use the same color. So let's use some other color that I don't use for my Elliott counting. Like orange. Ugh, orange is not a pretty color to me. At least not all oranges. Not this orange. Okay, if we are looking at waves 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see how wave 4 could come all the way up to here to 411? That's the big level to watch right there. 411. This is new motive wave level. If the price breaks 411 and continues to push higher, okay, that would invalidate this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count that I'm looking for, okay? 411, that's the big one. If that happens, then okay, all right, ABC, that's primary wave 2, going for primary wave 3, which would be one of the biggest waves. It would be a powerful rally higher, like powerful rally higher. Let's say like the Ukraine defeats the Russians in their territory, and that China manages to contain their collapsing real estate market. And let's also say that the Federal Reserve also happens to be able to control the consumer prices rising. And at the same time, we start to stabilize the food crisis that is developing due to climate change. Let's say we get all of that figured out, then the markets start rallying into this primary wave 3, which will be just spectacular. It'll be huge. It'll be the biggest thing you've ever seen in your life, and the bears will get wrecked. And, you know, it would be a better world, I think, for the short term, but not in the long term. Because I think in the long term, we need to make sustainable choices. And that kind of change will only come after tragedy. And the instability of change is bad for markets, right? And honestly, that was a pretty long laundry list that I just put out there. So like, I don't know. If we get to 411 and the price turns down, okay, that could be a wave 5. And it could truncate down here against this level, right, and form a double bottom, but we won't know. So here's the thing. We don't really know which way the price is going between 411 and the recent low near 390. This whole area is a big mystery. No one knows. There's no way to know what's happening as long as the price is between these two levels. And that's just it, because from here it could go any direction because it's completed a corrective mode down. And unless it breaks that mode heading lower, it could just continue to spill down. And if it does spill down, then this is what we have going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where we are now, is in 4. If we get 5, okay, motive mode is down. And that would put corrective mode, all right, going up. And then we wouldn't know if we were heading down for another leg until this retracement here at the end of 3. And as long as this is dipping, we could say this could just be the second wave of 3. We wouldn't even know until we got back down to the peak or the prior valley before that last peak. All right, so you could have a corrective push up, and guess what? We still don't know whether or not we're going to new lows or all-time highs, even at this point. Because from here, you could still get another motive wave, right? That'd be valid, and we'd be charting out some sort of bottoming pattern through here. Like, I can see how this goes either way. I really can. And on these larger time frames, I can totally see us going in for a corrective push higher, and there'd be 2 motive waves through here, right? And then we start a whole nother series of zigzags, right? Look, we can even get a bounce there and be like, yes, this can be a new 3 of 3, and then boom, big rejection down, right? All of a sudden we got another 1, 2, 3, and we start the second zigzag, right? Like, that could happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as long as the first wave down here doesn't surpass this low, right, we won't know whether or not we have the zigzag. And it could bounce, right? We could even start heading higher and still not know that we have this massive zigzag ahead of us going lower. That's why I say Elliott wave analysis isn't very predictive. It's not. It's really not, because everything can lead everywhere. And even if we hit 411 and turn down, we could still form a double bottom and come back up. Right? In which case, we'd be talking about this big broadening, pattern that everyone's got charted out, and this would be the partial decline, right? When we come down and then form the double bottom and then push out higher. So, yes, I can see it all. It's so annoying because it doesn't really actually provide any clear insight as to which way the markets are going. If we break it down into a smaller time frame, we get a pretty good idea, and that's why it's important to break it all the way down into the sub-minuet waves, is because that's where your useful data is going to be, is in, hey, on the 5 or 10 minute and the 1 hour chart, are we emotive or are we corrective? And it's like, okay, we just had a bounce at the top of a wave 1. We're forming a sub-minuet motive wave heading higher. We can probably bet that we're going to get at least another couple of degrees higher in motive mode, right? And you can start to measure the amplitude of those waves and say, yes, we're probably going to be in an uptrend for a little while. And so do that, Cap. Why not just do that? Go back to your chart and do that. Like, fine. So here's the thing. Let's talk about it. On the 1 hour chart, we're peaking out, right? Like, this could be the top of wave 1, I guess, and then 2, and then this could be the top of wave 3. So this is where I'm at. It's like, look, we could retrace down or we could push out higher. I wouldn't want to do anything, though, until I see a rejection off of this downtrend. If it pushes up and rejects and heads lower, I would trade that downtrend down to about $3.99. So there's like a $7 range through here I'd trade if I were day trading and I saw that rejection occur. But there's not a lot of volume here. This looks like a bull trap to me. Honestly, this looks like a bull trap. Looks like a bull trap. So that's pretty much what I've got. 1, 2, 3. Is there another triangle through here? We could be developing another triangle. How annoying would that be? Okay, so that's what I've got for this week. It's this super long video of me babbling, but updating my counts. As you can see, I'm having a hard time here because now I have to change all of these degrees to make this the bottom of a primary wave 2, right? So is it the bottom? And I don't even know if it's the bottom of the primary wave 2 yet or not. I really don't. I really don't. So I need to get intermediate and minor on here. And so, like, what would the first intermediate wave be? Like this one. This would be the end of intermediate wave. Whoops, intermediate. That'd be the bottom of intermediate wave 1 right there. Which is, see, not going to be minuet wave 5. That would be this one, which is minute wave 5. And so minute wave 4, minute wave 3, and then I have one more degree smaller that I can go into, so I'll be doing that this week. Okay, that's all. Wow, this was crazy. Happy trading.